Arman Tsarukyan demolished Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar, finishing him with a clean submission in the second round. After such a dominant win, Arman and many MMA pros agree that he should be next in line to fight Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title. Middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev was visibly impressed with Arman's performance and is now pushing for Tsarukyan to get the next title shot. Chimaev praised Arman as the best fighter in the division and the true *1 contender, saying there's no doubt he deserves a crack at the belt.
Performance was crazy like what I said. I knew it's gonna be finished, but I wanted to wait, so don't say that. But I went for it. I like we accepted, you know. So Arman is the best, so he's the #1. He's the champion.
However, Sean O'Malley believes the UFC might avoid booking Ilia Topuria against Arman Tsarukyan in order to protect Ilia's title reign. O'Malley thinks the UFC clearly favors Ilia as champion and isn't eager to risk him losing the belt. He even called Arman one of the few fighters at 155 who has a real chance of beating Topuria.
Arman is no joke. Arman versus Ilia is an interesting matchup. I do not think the UFC will make Arman versus Ilia because I think they love Ilia as a champion. He's a great champion, and I don't think they really want Arman to become champion. He has a legitimate chance at beating Ilia. I can't believe I said it. I think Ilia might knock him out, but if anyone has a chance of beating Arman at Ilia at 155, it's Arman, the Turkey Mound, Tsarukyan.
On the other hand, Arman Tsarukyan insists he has done everything necessary to earn a title shot. He claims that if Ilia still refuses to fight him, then it's obvious the champion is afraid and avoiding the challenge. Right after his win over Hooker, Arman called out Topuria for a January title fight, arguing that too many fighters, especially Ilia, are running from the toughest matchup available. He urged the UFC not to give Topuria an easy opponent and said he is ready to sign for early 2026 if needed. Arman Tsarukyan said, "Everybody's running, especially Ilia. There's just one #1 contender, it's Arman Tsarukyan. Don't make an easy fight, I'm ready, end of January, just send me the contract." Arman also described a fight with Ilia Topuria as the biggest and most exciting matchup in the entire sport. He accused Topuria of dodging the fight and warned him once again to stop running, repeating the same message loud and clear. Arman Tsarukyan said, "Me versus Ilia is the best fight to make across any division. No more running El Pato." Arman Tsarukyan challenged Ilia Topuria to either step up or step aside. He pointed out that Ilia keeps avoiding tough opponents while he himself refuses to take the easy path. Arman made it clear that he's ready for a real fight and believes he is the one who truly deserves the title shot.
Yeah, he said if you're gonna give me Arman, I'm gonna leave this title. So he should leave that title and give me anybody. I'm not gonna looking for easy fights. I can fight with anybody, and UFC knows I'm like open to anybody. And I don't know, he's trying to not call my name. He knows that the #1 and the real fighter, it's me.
On the other hand, Ilia Topuria fired back by posting a video of his interaction with Arman at UFC Qatar. Even though the clip looked friendly at first, Ilia shifted his tone online, claiming that Arman acts tough on social media but stayed quiet in person. He mocked Arman for freezing up and suggested he could handle him with ease. Ilia also claimed he slapped Arman during the exchange. Ilia Topuria said, "Arman, every time we see each other in person, you freeze up like a scared duck with no idea what to do. You know I handle you however I want. I fight whoever the UFC chooses. And remember, I slapped you and you just laughed, then you go around acting like a gangster. So keep going, you're on the right path. Just a few levels below me, kid." Arman was surprised by Ilia's version of the story and quickly responded. He explained that Ilia had only touched his neck lightly and exaggerated it online by calling it a slap. Arman implied that Ilia was acting out of insecurity and reminded everyone that he doesn't prove toughness online. His work happens inside the cage. He added that if Ilia really wanted to feel a slap, he'd be happy to show him one soon, ending with a playful jab. Arman Tsarukyan said, Bro, you touched my neck like we were taking a family photo and now you're calling it a slap online? The clip is clear. Your insecurity's even clearer. I don't need to act tough for Twitter. My work is inside the cage. If you want to know what a real slap feels like, I'll be happy to educate you. See you soon, El Pato. Meanwhile, Michael Bisping reacted to Arman's win over Dan Hooker by praising Tsarukyan's performance as exceptional. He pointed out that Hooker is a fan favorite with an exciting style, a new muscular physique, and a confident attitude. Bisping also noted that Hooker had talked a lot before the fight and even threw verbal shots at Arman, despite having multiple losses. Many fans expected Hooker to do well, especially since he held a win over Mateusz Gamrot, a fighter who previously defeated Arman.
What was an incredible performance from Arman Tsarukyan. Dan Hooker, I think it's fair to say that everyone loves this guy. He's very entertaining. This new version with the tattoos has put on a lot of muscle. He doesn't care. He's got swag. His dress sense has changed. He's dyed his hair like Eminem. He's talking a lot of shit. He was calling Arman every name under the sun.
Title contender, the guy that beat Ilia, and now he's losing to Dan Hooker, the bloke from New Zealand who's lost a third of his fights.
And I think he convinced a lot of people that he was going to do well. And, you know, granted, he has beaten the likes of Mateusz Gamrot that beat Arman Tsarukyan.
Michael Bisping highlighted Arman Tsarukyan's complete control throughout the fight. He pointed out how Arman landed sharp punches, knees, and kicks while badly damaging Hooker's leg. On the ground, Arman nearly secured a crucifix and poured on heavy elbows. In the second round, he kept the pressure high, scored another takedown, and finished the fight with a choke. Bisping praised Hooker's toughness, but noted that Arman clearly represents the new generation, and Ilia Topuria's silence, along with his past comments about vacating the belt, sends a strong message.
Arman was fantastic. On the feet, he cracked him, he connected with knees, kicks, he butchered up his calf. I mean, everything that he was throwing was landing with authority. Then he took him down, almost crucifixed him, elbowed the crap out of him and just made life miserable for Dan Hooker. And then in the second round, it was more of the same. He went out, butchered him up, landed some shots, took him down and then choked him out. So listen, no disrespect, Dan Hooker's incredible, right? And there's no shame in losing to Arman Tsarukyan. He is kind of like this new generation. He was to fight Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria was in attendance, but he has been very quiet, and he did say that he would rather vacate the belt than fight Arman Tsarukyan.
Sean O'Malley also shared his reaction to the fight, admitting he was stunned when Arman twisted his neck to escape Hooker's guillotine. He called the escape absolutely shocking and said he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Here, Arman with a head outside single leg goes into a head inside leg. Dan Hooker pulls guard. He's got that same guillotine. Oh my God! What the f? Arman just did a 360, 180 backwards to get out. What the f happened? His neck, he just twisted. It's all that shit he does in the fucking workouts and shit. He just twisted the other way. You don't usually turn that way, and he did. Ow. Dude, he just went, I'm an owl. He just decided to be an owl for a little bit. Now Dan Hooker's on his back again. 3.5 minutes left to go.
Robert Whittaker reacted to the fight with admiration for Arman's skill and athleticism. He was impressed by how smoothly Tsarukyan slipped out of Hooker's tight guillotine, showing a perfect blend of technique and flexibility. Whittaker noted that the first round clinch exchanges quietly drained Hooker's arms and energy even without flashy strikes. Once the fight hit the ground in the second round, Arman's guard work and positional control stood out as some of the cleanest Whittaker has seen in years, proving just how dominant and composed Arman was.
Dan has a great guillotine, okay? And you could see, especially in the second round when he went for the guillotine, he was cinching it up. He was in the midst of cinching it up, but then Arman obviously spun out like the perfect blend of athleticism, instinct, and technique. It was just, was never in any danger. I thought Arman didn't do a lot of work in round one against Fence, but it looked like he took a lot out of Dan's arms and body, like that contest of strength and grappling in that first round. I felt Arman kind of invested, in that round. And then round two, when he was in guard, that would have to be some of the best guard work I've seen, I don't know, in a while.
Whittaker also mentioned that something seemed off with Dan Hooker, either an injury or unexpected fatigue, since his guard usually appears much stronger. Meanwhile, Arman powered forward with relentless pressure and sharp elbows from inside the guard. Whittaker praised Arman's shoulder flexibility, speed, and the fact that even though he looked smaller than Hooker, he still controlled every position. Arman even attempted rare submissions from inside the guard while Hooker struggled to respond and was forced to defend nonstop.
To the point where I think there was something wrong with Dan. Like Dan had injured something, or he was unexpectedly gassed from that first round. Like there was a spanner in the works, because Dan has a better guard than that, but Arman was just kind of blasting through it. And those tight elbows from guard, like,
oh, bro.
I don't know. I was looking at his flexibility of his shoulders, man, and the speed and the shorter arms than Dan, obviously, because Dan looked like a giant there. Arman looked tiny up against Dan, okay? But still, like, I don't know. And then, with the ground and pounding from guard, which you don't see a lot of. And Dan really had no answer for it. He opened his guard and was kind of just shelling up.
On the other hand, Arman Tsarukyan gave credit to Dan Hooker for stepping up and accepting the fight. He admitted that without Hooker, he probably wouldn't have competed this year and could have missed a chance at a title shot next year. Arman added that Hooker's decision kept him active and brought him more money, attention, and bigger opportunities ahead.
Dan is a good fighter, good man, but you know, he's not on that level. He took a chance, he got the money. But I want to say thank you for him too, because if he didn't take this fight, I couldn't fight this year, and next year probably I'm not gonna get the title. But because of him, I'm here. I got the win, I got money, I got everything, attention. You know, I just want to say thank you to him too.
Dan Hooker responded respectfully, praising Arman's comments and showing sportsmanship. Dan Hooker replied, "Respect made, absolute class." Hooker also took the loss in good spirits, posting a humorous message about likely never winning a title. He joked that he'll stick around to challenge and annoy every fighter he can, saying that if he can't get the big rewards, he won't make it easy for anyone else either.
Well, you've got to face the cold hard truth, so you're probably never going to get hands on a title, but I'm going to hang around as long as I possibly can and ruin as many people's hopes and dreams as I can, because if I can't have nice things, no one can.
Finally, Robert Whittaker added that he wants to see Paddy Pimblett eventually fight for a title, but believes Paddy should first face Charles Oliveira. He said a matchup with Oliveira would push Paddy much closer to a title opportunity, and that he's excited to see how that path unfolds.
Now, I'd like to see him fight Max even, because those fights get him to the title. And you know, I want to see him get to the title, because like I said, the growth of him has been exponential. He's just that fight against Chandler, he dismantled him. And the fight before that, we saw that focus, that you know, they're zeroing in to what he's got to do.
In my opinion, the more exciting out of all of them, like Oliveira and Paddy would be crazy, even against Holloway too. Yeah, I don't know what you do, but it has to be Arman versus Ilia.
I'd love to see Paddy Oliveira.
Oh, it'd be so good, right? On the ground.
That's a great fight.
So, that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts on this fight in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.